Got it. Okay. Well, hello and happy Monday to all of you. I'm super excited to be with you today. Here in Utah, it's kind of cloudy and rainy for sure. I don't know what it's like in your part of the world, but it cooled down a lot here. And we're excited because we are in smack dab middle of June and we have the rest of the month to just rock it. And I'm excited that we are here tonight, that Robert's going to go over the brand new app. Who, by the raise of your hands, have the new app downloaded onto your phone? Okay, is there anyone that has not? Okay, all right. So Robert, that kind of gives you an indicator on there's a couple people who don't have it downloaded yet. So we'll have to, kind of teach them how to do that and things like that. Craig and Elaine say that they don't either. Okay, so thank you for being here tonight, for taking time out of your busy schedules. It's going to be worth every second because we have our incredible app that is super simple. And I just want to give a shout out to Robert Arthur and Jeannie Schulman, who's not on here tonight, but they really put a ton of time into redesigning the app for our benefit, so that everything is simple and just really organized inside the app. So Robert, with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to you, and we are so grateful to have you here, Robert, and your honeybee Joy. I don't know if she's there with you.
She's floating around somewhere.
Okay, well, if she floats on by, let us say hello.
Thank you for that. So how many of you are excited to be here? Anybody excited to be in Zallevo? Welcome, guys. I want to welcome you, and I'm here in beautiful Granbury, a bit toasty today, but hey, God is good, and it's a beautiful sunny day. So we have, how many of you know with a certainty that we have so much to be thankful for? Yeah. I mean, every breath we take. Go ahead and raise your index finger. Now wiggle it around. That's a miracle. That's a miracle.
That's true.
And the other VIP, go ahead and reach out with your right hand. And now, yeah, pat the VIP tonight, because we're doing what 95% of the planet, human beings walking this planet, do not do. We're showing up. Yes. So I want to welcome all of you here. And Jill, thank you for being such a inspirational leader of just love and light. And you're the reason we're all here, Jill. And you started this whole journey. So thank you, and Kathy both. Awesome. Okay, so RapidFunnel app. So show of hands if the app has helped you enroll at least one person. Okay. Show of hands if you've never really used the app in your business. You've used other ways of sharing and building. It's okay. Be real about it. Go ahead and raise your hand up so we can see you. Okay, so it's about half and half, isn't it? So, all right. So
if we've never used the app, or we do use the app.
Yeah, the last question was if you never really use the app, if you found the tools, you grabbed them and shared them, pretty much bypassing the app to build your business.
No, I use the app.
Yeah, I know you do, Barb. So that leads to a question. By the way, here's what's on the plate tonight, and bear with me. Sorry, I have the iPhones talking to me a little bit as well. And in a moment, there's a reason I'm logged in with my clone here on the iPhone. I'll show you in a minute. So here's one of the questions. So here's on the plate tonight. Number one, there's many of you on this line right now that could teach this just like I am, in different ways, many of you better ways. So I want to acknowledge the leaders on this line or on this recording, okay? And you know who you are. So I want to make darn sure that we have a whole room full and a group full of leaders here who are building awesome teams. So thank you for that. Number two, what's on the plate tonight is, number one, to kind of maybe share a couple reasons why we have the app. Number two, how it can lead to just the next level of duplication. How many of us want massive duplication throughout our organizations and teams? Yes? Okay. So part of why, remember, there's all kinds of quotes around this. Don't be a fool, use the tool. It's not what works, it's what duplicates. Did everybody get that? If you're building in such a way that you sign Sally Sue up tomorrow and Sally Sue can't step in and do what you're doing, then what happens? Not a whole lot with your team. Okay, so it's not always what simply works. It's what duplicates. I see your mouths moving, so thank you for that. All right, so we're going to walk you through number 3. With your permission, I'm going to walk you through some of the best practice, not just for me, but I'm going to reach out to some leaders I know were having fun with the app. And I'm also going to share with you, would anybody like to also be able to put into the app some of your own personal favorites? Yeah, would that be good to have? Because maybe not all your favorite videos are right there sitting under most popular videos on the app. Well, if you're thinking that, well, then I can't use the app, then I would invite you to look closer, because tonight we're going to show you how to personalize it and put a number of your favorite tools, which may not be readily found right there sitting in the app. So we're going to show you how to do that as well. And also I'm going to role play with Jill and Barb and Carol, some of you, maybe Heidi or Jim. So I'm going to put you on the spot probably. But again, we're also going to role play as far as some ways that we use the app and to show you some real life application of how to use it in real life. Would that be helpful as well?
Yeah, and I think you could role play with anyone on this line. They would totally be open to it, right, everybody?
Yes. And that being said, those I just named, I probably won't be coming to you. I'll be grabbing somebody else and putting them on the spot. So be prepared. So anyway, so again, we're going to be real. We're going to be raw. We're going to be authentic tonight. And once more, it's not always what simply works. It's what duplicates. Okay. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and I'm going to pull up the app here and show you guys. And I do want to ask your permission to do something. And Jill, chime in here with me. What I'm going to ask of the group is that, for the sake of time, those of you who do not have the app uploaded, I'm going to ask you to maybe just put yourself in a mindset where you're projecting tomorrow, tonight, next couple of days, you have the app in your hand. So we can, for the sake of time, I'm going to just assume everybody has the app, and we're going to walk you through some best practice so we can make really good use of our time, if that's okay. Okay. As far as the how-to and the practical, how to upload the app. All right. So let me, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with my phone.
Share us with the magic, Robert. You're magical with that app.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, it's the cool part about the app is the tool is where the magic is, not so much the wielder of the tool. That's the whole beauty of it. All right, guys. So bear with me. I'm going to do some screen sharing here. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Thumbs up if you can see a picture of my iPhone sitting on the screen.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So let's pull up the RapidFunnel app. So let's start with the home page. So for some of you, this will be brand new. For many of you, you have seen this many times. You may be somewhere in the middle. So this is the home page of the app. I think we all kind of recognize this. There's your contacts. What's your activity level, your resources. You see under resources, how many resources do we see? 397. So if we didn't have a simple interface, would that be a little mind-boggling?
Mine says 264. Why are ours different?
Potentially because I have uploaded some other personal stuff and
Yeah.
contacts. It's a
Mine's
combination.
127.
What's that?
Mine's only 127.
Okay, fair enough. Well, if you have this picture when you go to your resources right here, then you have plenty to work with. So this is the new interface. So for those who are new to the RapidFunnel app, many of you are, we had a whole different look. Remember the 7-step enrolling map, et cetera, et cetera. Well, because of numerous meetings and input from the field, as you heard, a few of us leaders got together and said, how can we get this thing really, really simple? One note I want to share, our ideal I want to share with everybody is that there's 2 main resources to always keep at your fingertips. And it's the top tool, the top 2. Product tools, business tools. The other ones are great, and you may not be using them all the time. But again, I'm going to walk primarily initially through the top 2 resources in your app, which is the product tools and the business tools. Okay, so here we go.
Awesome.
So the first one, product tools. And what's cool is many of you have had a wish list and said, well, it's so darn hard to find the most popular videos. So we're going to go there first. So these are the 3. The company did a poll with top leaders in the company and said, what are the main videos you're using day in, day out? And here they are. Introduction to fasting and fueling. How many of you have shared this video with at least one person or more in the last few weeks? Okay, awesome. So, and does somebody have to follow? Does somebody have to fast to be a great customer in our business? Heavens no. Some people start with the collagen, some start with the biome, and that's it. Some start with some shakes. So it doesn't really, one of the things to bear in mind as we move forward, to be careful or worry of being attached to our agenda. And that's why, depending on where they're at and what you uncover in that initial conversation, then that will determine what tools you share with our people. Okay, so introduction to fasting and fueling. And if you click on that, you will see that it's Kirsty pulling up. We have shake days, we have ultra days, we have fasting days, and there's also some testimonials and some before and afters in there. Again, great resource. I personally, again, everybody's different. I probably use fasting and fueling maybe just half the time with my initial prospects. It's not always a must go to with everybody. But let me, so there are some cool before and afters here. Congratulations, Kathy. She's actually just joining our Zoom right now. How many of you love Kathy's on? She's a beautiful soul inside and out. And there's some awesome pictures. We just did a recent WWW call with Abby here. We were in Costa Rica with Abby and her friend there. And there's some before and afters. So there are some great stories in there, and it's a great resource. All you have to do is page up, and then you simply go back and get out of there. And you go back into your app. Bear with me. Here we go. Okay, so fasting and fueling is one. Out of these 3, if you can put in the chat box, go ahead and go to the chat. Out of these 3 videos, what is the one out of these three, what is your favorite one? Your go-to video? How many of you still use the Unpacking Your Zallevo collection? Yeah. Jill, one of your favorites is Unpacking. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I use that one the most. And Robert, as you're going through this, make sure that will you let us know the ones you use the most too, because you use this on a daily basis a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Heaven just. So yeah, Unpacking. If I had to choose between these three videos, personally, for me, I would choose Unpacking Your Zallevo collection. Is it the one that I typically lead with? To be candid, it's not. I'm just being transparent. How many of you actually, one of these three is your number one lead video? Okay, fair enough. I didn't see everybody's hands. Let me pull up more pictures. Can you raise your hand one more time for us? Out of these three, okay, awesome, love it. Love it. So, and again, what's cool is now it's so easy to find. Is one of these three in my initial 2 or 3 videos with pretty much every prospect? Yes. Okay. And so let's go ahead and I'm going to stop right there. And let's say I had a conversation with Jill. So Jill, if you can unmute for a moment.
Oh, I'm here.
Okay. So Jill, I met Jill at a chamber lunch. We connected. I knew Jill was into health and wellness, and she worked down at the Pilates studio in town.
Oh, that
And
would be me.
That would be you, yes. And we connected. Jill was looking to get healthy, get some energy. So I go home, or even right there on the spot, I would first of all go to my phone and put Jill Birth in my phone. Why do I go to my phone and put her in a contact first? Somebody chime in here. Barb, you know the answer to this.
Because if you don't put it in your phone first, the Rapid app won't pick it up and put in the personalization, and it doesn't count towards the app.
Yes, and we're also doubling our work, aren't we, Barb? We're literally doubling our work. If we manually put people in the app without putting them in our contact base, because we're going to have to go back, if Jill's a great contact, which she is, and then we probably want to text her separately, or follow up with her, give her a call, etc. We're going to have to also then turn around and go into our phone, or vice versa. So put her in your.
If you do the message over Facebook Messenger, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but if you do over Facebook Messenger, you have to still put them in your phone unless they fill out the thing at the bottom. If they fill out the thing, it automatically goes into your RapidFunnel, correct?
That's a great question. We're going to hold that question,
Okay.
and we'll come back to it.
Okay.
So now that my prospect is in my phone, just as a normal contact, all I have to do now is go to the, can you see it on the screen, the bottom left? Yeah. Yeah, we can see it there. Okay, just go to the bottom left and click contact. And now, can you, sorry, my screen's being hidden here. Okay. So now all you do is add the contact. Look at the top right of your screen. Does everybody see the import button?
The wand?
Yeah, you see the magic wand, but you also see above that says import.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So when you click import, then all I have to do now is type in Jill Birth and contact. I tap her name and import. And now Jill is in my RapidFunnel app. And
good.
For me personally, I invite everybody to one of the campaigns. And this only comes up if what, Barb?
If
If
they
we
have,
have,
if you've gotten an email address, and I am getting better at getting an email address.
yes, exactly. Thank you, Barb. So this option only comes up. How many of you want how many of you want a system to be following up with you like your own personal assistant?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And what if you had a clone that would go behind you, or your personal assistant was free, and they went behind you on day 1, like day 3, day 5, day 7, and they sent your prospect, just like it's coming from you, a personalized, great little message.
However, I do one thing that I have found though, is that I do that after I have sent them the initial things that I'm sending them, because there's been a couple of times where they got the email before they got the first thing.
That's a great point. And again,
So,
that's one consideration. I personally, I'm not attached to either way, but again, if you feel like that's a concern, then you might want to wait till they get the text message and go from there. One other thing, guys, I want to mention, if Jill is a brand new friend, do this first. Please make a huge note. If you have a red pen, write this down. Always with a new contact, you pull up Jill, always send your prospects a personal message. Hey, Jill. Great to visit with you at the chamber lunch. It helps if I could spell, wouldn't it? So if you do not send your prospect a text before you send the text from the app, what's going to happen?
it can get blocked.
Yeah, a high percent of those prospects will not even get the text message.
Okay.
Because of the- Yeah, go ahead.
So it says I don't have any campaigns that come up. It says I have 2 campaigns, but it doesn't come up when I click campaigns. So is that just a error
Are you saying in your email?
on my app? On my app, if I click campaigns, it's just a blank screen. But
Okay,
it should, but on the little box next to it, just on the home page, it says I have 2, like you do.
okay. Are you saying when you go to product tools?
No, back on the home screen, see where it says campaigns?
Okay. Yes.
Underneath resources?
Right.
Yeah, mine doesn't do that.
Okay. And this is we're not going to get mechanical tonight, but if you're
Okay.
lacking some of these resources you see, you need to go to your laptop version and do a couple steps over there. We're not going to do that right now for the sake
Okay.
of time, but just so you know, if you see any resource that I'm walking through tonight that you do not have, just know that the simplest way to get those resources is to go into your laptop version.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
But Robert, don't you have to pull up a person and have their email before those campaigns will show? 'Cause
Yeah,
mine doesn't show, but I have them and I can send them out, but I have to pull up a person first.
yes. Normally, although what I'm finding, Carol, is that when you go to your homepage now, your campaign should show there, even whether you're looking somewhere else or not. If you go to the homepage and you go to your campaigns, if you and Barb can look real quick for me, that'd be great. But you
Yeah,
should
that's-
see.
I'm showing them on the homepage. I'm showing the 2, but when I click it, it's just blank. But if I go to a person,
Yeah.
that I have an email on, then it brings it up and I can,
You know, on mine, it says I have 32 active contacts for the opportunity and another 12 for the product, or 11 for the product.
Yeah, great point. So guys, Again,
And
number
it's-
one,
And when I check on it, it shows the emails.
okay. So number one, always send the prospect a text message outside the app to avoid all the security issues. Number two, then you go into your new contact, like I just showed you, Joe Berth, and then you import. Do not get in the habit of not doing the work twice. So always put the new prospect in your phone first, send them a text, not touching the app. And then only step three, do you go to the app, import them. And then when you get their email, that's the only time you're going to get the campaign option to send them some campaigns. So
Robert, can I say something real quick?
yes, please.
By doing what you're saying of sending a personal text from your phone initially, that, if you take it into we're not talking about app, but if you just put them on a campaign rotation from the beginning or a text rotation from the beginning, it's like saying, will you marry me, when you meet them at an event? But the text first is like, hey, let's have coffee. Hey, let's go on a date. And then you can ask them to marry you by sending them out the email, a campaign email. But if how many people are comfortable with meeting somebody the first time and go, hello, my name is, will you marry me?
That's creepy, Carol, creepy.
Yeah.
But, well, I'm serious, but that
I
is
know.
how many of y'all feel a little creepy when all of a sudden somebody starts sending you all these tons of emails? You
Emails.
haven't even built a relationship with them. It is creepy
Yeah.
and
That's a good-
irritating, I guess, more than creepy, but it's irritating.
That's a good point. And my take on that too, guys, for those listening, there's, some people still to this day, I know it may say, some people still lean heavily on email over even text messaging. So when you initially meet somebody, if I just met Jill, do you prefer to receive information via text or email or Facebook message or a combination? Ask the question.
Yeah.
And let them tell you. So, yeah. Okay, so David
Can I
Hinton.
make a quick comment real quick about that?
Yes, ma'am. 1 second. In the chat, David Hinton, you mentioned, you said, David, don't you have to add 5 at a time? David, we're talking about 2 separate definitions of import. In this situation, I'm simply talking about the top right of your screen, importing 1 person at a time, not importing a database. So I'm sure it's probably, if you have a whole database of say 200 people that you know personally, which is the only way you would need to do this, then yes, more than likely you would have to have a minimum of a certain number. Maybe it's 5, David. But in this situation, I'm simply just suggesting to save yourself all time, you go to your contacts and then import from your phone database. Go ahead, Cindy.
I was just going to comment that when I was looking on the RapidFunnels app before, so one of the main reasons for texting people first is because how we're getting a lot of spam messages from people all the time, whether it's, vote for me this or order this, and all that. So there's something built in where a lot of people's phones won't accept just a link coming over to them unless we already have texted that person and the phone knows that we know them. So it's kind of like adding somebody to your email so that it doesn't go to your junk folder. And so if it's a brand new person you've just met, you put their contact in your phone, you can go ahead and send them, hey, it was great to meet you today, and then add them into your contact with RapidFunnels, and then send them the message with the link through RapidFunnels, and then they'll get the link for sure.
Yeah, great comments. Thank you, Cindy. So yeah, it's all simply, it's still tied to security. Again, different reasons for that. And part of it's just a normal courtesy, I would suggest as well, Cindy. So thank you for that.
But and a lot of times I will say, can I put you in my phone? Ask the permission. They say, oh, sure. And so I'll even hand them my phone, or they'll tell me and I'll put it in, and I'll send them a text or a call right then to make sure I didn't get the number wrong. And sometimes that happens, like, oh no, that was wrong. And so then and they've already done it, and or even said, okay, I heard it come in, or they'll click on it. And so then you've got that connection, and it just takes a moment but it's a permission thing that, you know, we've learned so well from Robert to ask permission.
Ask permission and be respectful and help people lean in versus us. It's kind of, remember we heard the analogy, are you going to be the cat versus the dog? The dog runs up and jumps on you and slobbering in your face, and you step back, where the cat glides by, rubs his back, and you go after the cat. I do to pet it, you know, so that's the difference. So most popular videos, again, hopefully you see that as leaders, and in your initial batch of 2 or 3 links that you're sending out, if you do it that way, then all of us are using, in one shape or fashion, one of these primary most popular videos. If you're asking the question in your mind, then what are the other videos that are in that batch of 2 or 3? Then sit tight, and we're about to go over that. So next category, if you're following along with me, see right below most popular videos, it says just videos by itself. Okay, all right, that's what I'm clicking on now. All right, so now we have, and here's the deal. When I click on stories, you would think that we would have 10 to 15 or more stories. We're working on it. And we're in the middle of a project with Jill's help and Jem and the team. We're going to be able to populate the story section a lot. As of right now, how many do we have in here? We have one.
David, it's David, and he has a question really quick. So you don't have to do 5 at a time anymore when you import contacts?
Yes, ma'am, we covered that, but yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was a separate type of import. Thank you
Okay.
for that heads up.
Got it.
And so David is the one story in the app. Do we have other stories to share? Heavens, yes. We have like 40 and 50 in a library and growing. How do we put those in the app? With your permission, can I pause a minute and show you how to put more stories in your app? Would that be okay? Again, would it be okay if we?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So here's one way, here's the simplest way to put more stories in your app. Okay, look at the top right of your screen. It says personal. You see company and personal, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Black and white. Yep. I'm going to click on personal. I apologize, I don't have a little, one of those little presenter things, so that's why I'm explaining that's what I'm tapping on. Everybody in your app, you have a company. That's what the company is. And then you have, I'm clicking on the black box, and you have a personal. Probably, well, there's no probably about it. Carol and Barb and I know this. Most people right now, holding your app in your hand, this section's blank. Let's be real, because you probably even haven't been shown this yet. Raise your hand if you have not been shown this or don't have anything in there. You're in great company if you don't. So with your permission, I'm going to spend just a few minutes showing you where some of the stories are and how to put them in your app. Because if you go to my health and fitness, I have a growing number of different videos that I'm sending out all the time. Okay. And what I'm doing with my personal stories, I'm putting them under family. Remember, family in this context, to me, means personal stories. That's my definition. There's not an easy way besides family, finance, health and fitness, and professional. There's not an easy way here to add like personal stories. That's why I'm sharing this with you. Okay, so under family, I didn't put a lot in because I wanted to show you guys, I want to demonstrate some examples. Okay. And I even have even more under finance than I do under family right now, but let's go to family. And what I have in there right now, how many of you have listened to the WW call we did with Kirsty Cody a couple of weeks ago? Yeah, is that personal and real? Yeah, it's pretty amazing actually. Okay, so let's say we at least wanted to put, say, Kirsty's story and another one about gut health. And for the sake of this call, before the call, I said, I normally just go to YouTube and do it, but let's be real and show the team how to do this effectively. So now I'm clicking on, see at the bottom of my health and fitness section, it says renewed gut health. Everybody see that?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite stories with Don F., successful attorney from the Bahamas in the States, Kentucky. And so I want to put her under family, because that's where all my personal stories are going. So there's Donette's link. I'm going to click on category and put her under family instead and save. So now Don F is adding to my family section, which is, in this case, the personal stories. How do we do this? If you feel lost right now, just hang in there. I'm going to show it to you a couple times. So to add a story to your app, we're clicking on the button that says add new right there in just a moment. First, let's go find the story. Where do we find them? One place to find them, it's called Team Z Global. And I want to acknowledge the fact that this is simply Jill and I's kind of little child that we put together. So if you're on a strong team, like maybe Udana's team, or it could be, I think, who else would have a YouTube channel besides Udana? That's probably about it for now, isn't it, Jill?
Yeah.
So here's the point. I want to acknowledge other leaders. Let's be real. So this may not be your one go-to place to find your key stories that your team is using, but in this case, it happened. I'm just giving you an example. So if you go to YouTube and type in Team Z Global, whether you type in impact or not, this is going to come up. And now, if you click, see it says home and then videos. Okay. If you click videos, all these little videos are popping up. Anytime you see a www beside the video, that's a story. That's a personal interview. So what's at the top of the list right now on my phone?
The gut health one with Donnath.
Exactly. How many of you would like to have her story in your app that you could send somebody? Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
it's awesome.
If you don't, that's fine. But I'm just showing you one example. You can use others, but you got to use YouTube or Vimeo or something like this to put it in your app. Otherwise, there's no way to get it in there. You got to have a video player platform. I'm now clicking on Donette's story. Jim and I, we had a beautiful interview with Donette. It's a great story. You haven't heard it. It's powerful. How do you put it in your app? How do you go from here to YouTube to put it in your app? Then you can see when somebody even watches it. See below the title, it says thumbs up, thumbs down, and then share. Does everybody see that share button?
Yep.
It's got an arrow pointing to the right. Okay. Click that. And now all I'm clicking, see at the bottom of the screen, is copy link. All right. So now the link is sitting in my phone. Does everybody understand that?
Yep.
Donette is one example of many that you could pull from here. Carol, you have sitting in your personal app this video on the top of your screen, yes? Yes. And has this helped you enroll a lot of people on collagen?
Yes.
Yes. So how many of you would like a third-party professional explaining the 7 key benefits of college and why they should buy it.
That'd
Okay.
be awesome.
And it's
Yeah.
only 9 minutes. Okay. So same example, whether you pull Don F or the college and benefits, how many are this 7.5 minute story by Christy Anchikoski? It's beautiful.
It's
All right.
my favorite.
It's great.
Deb Lucas, Deb and Scott, that's the one I want you guys to watch, is Christie's, when I was talking to you about.
Okay, here's how to put these stories in your app. Does everybody know, at least have somewhat of an idea now of where to find the stories? Anybody not know now where to find these stories and the links to put in the app? I'm about to show you how to do it now, but yeah.
Yep.
Okay. In this case, we're demonstrating with gut health. The video on top of your screen. We go back to the app and see the button that says add new. We're gonna add a new video in our app. I'm just making up a title. Ideally, you'd go to the YouTube and you would save yourself some time and just read what we'd already put there. Gut health leads to next level living. So you want to put some kind of title there. Again, I cannot pick it. I'm a slow picker. So, okay. And you do want to put, I never want to say, here's the info and that's it. Heavens no. So it would say Barb in there. Barb, I just met Barb online. So I just made that up. Barb is a tremendous leader, okay? Just in case you're wondering. Okay, so Barb, here's the gut interview. I may say digestive interview with attorney. Okay, and then in case you're wondering, this is work we're doing once. You don't do this every time. If you had to do this every time like I'm doing right now and showing you, we could forget it, okay? What you're doing right now is you're changing the template. So now whenever we use this link, the work we're doing right now, we're doing it once. Everybody clear on that? Otherwise it'd be very laborious. So I never want to keep this in here. It says, if Barb receives this message and it says, check the link above and let me know any questions or comments, that would not be how I would communicate at all. I would say, enjoy this heart-centered ladies' journey through I would say digestive. Yeah, digestive. Yeah. If you don't pick very well, you join the club.
So, but if you leave the first name not there, then it will automatically put the name in there.
Yeah, whenever you see the brackets, whenever you see first name in brackets, the system puts Barb's name in there. You don't have to do it every time. That's the beauty of using the app as well. So when Barb gets the message, it'll say, Barb, there's the video link, and then enjoy this heart-centered lady's journey through digestive. And I'm keeping my grammar in there. Sometimes I keep a grammar misspell in there on purpose. I'm serious. A lot of times I will put a I'll leave a grammar mistake in there because I don't want to come across as being perfect. So anyway, that's just me. I know I think weird sometimes. So now you want to put your URL link. This is how you put the YouTube. You put the YouTube link right here. And you just click the box, paste. And remember, this is just me, whatever your category is. I want my more personal stories to go under, of all these categories, under family. I want my normal, more sciencey and factual stuff to go under the other. I want my personal stories to go under family. That's just how I'm doing it. Okay, done. Make darn sure you click save. Otherwise, the work you just put in there, especially if you're a slow typist, you want to.
So Robert, is it redundant to have the subject and the pre-written message both have a name in it? I mean, should we, if we're going to do a personalized pre-written message, should we have the subject blank?
Yeah, let me open up one and show you. Okay.
Your complete guide to collagen and why you.
Hang on, let me go there again. I'll show you. Let me, yeah, click the edit button. So the answer is it's not redundant because if this person, to use Barb as the example, Carol, if Barb said, Robert, I prefer email, then it would not be redundant at all. If she sees her name in the subject line, she's many times more prone to open the darn email. And if she gets a text, it's a little different story. But if she gets a text, she isn't going to see the subject line. Then she will simply see the pre-written message. That's the difference. Okay. Yeah, great question. All right, so I'm gonna just cancel because I'm not changing anything. All right. So what are some of your? Hopefully you saw that hopefully you now know where to find. Again, this is one place, but it's probably more, there's no probably about it. It is the more robust and there's the widest variety of stories of anywhere to date in our team YouTube channel, thanks to Jill and the team and everybody sitting there. Are we going to get some shorter versions of some of these stories? Heaven gist. Okay. And Cindy Talley, can you pull videos from the back office? Same thing. If you go to the back office and you click the link, I'll show you an example. Here's an example of pulling something from the back office, which I still use a lot. Okay. If I go back to my app, okay, under health and fitness, see the last line, it says our philosophy around wellness. That's not in the app, to be candid, but I love it because it's about our philosophy. And so I have it under my personal, remember, this is the company. This is my personal health and fitness. There's a couple of videos. Well, actually, pretty much all these videos that I have sitting in my personal section are not over here in the company section. And if you don't know what some of the other additional resources are, go to your back office. We can show you where to find those and or the team channel on YouTube.
Robert, is the philosophy video still in the back office?
That's a great question. If you don't find it there, I'll put it in the Facebook thread, and so you have the link. So,
Okay, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
You bet. And again, we talk business, and I have Christiane Chakosky's video sitting right here. It's only 8 minutes. We have, how many of you love to send somebody a short video clip from a young 18-year-old platinum director in Zallevo who's amazing? It's sitting right there to send somebody who has a grandson or son or them. And then I got some social media training there from a couple leaders in the Zallevo, and then and also under professional, If you haven't seen this, it's my numero uno favorite explanation from Tim Sells about our industry. It's only 20 minutes. You would find this link over again on the YouTube channel under network marketing. So, all right, I know we spent quite a few minutes there, but I felt it was very apropos to show you how to put some personal links along with the company tools into your app.
Okay, Robert, I have a question for that. I was thinking that in the beginning, when we first started doing, when the app came out and we added things, that it was tracking just like the company resources track. But I don't know that it has been. So is it now? Is it tracking? Like if I send Christy Anikoski's link to Barbara, is it going to show me when Barbara watches it and such as that?
Yeah, what I'm finding, it shows me that they pulled it up and clicked on it. I don't see all the, they saw 10% of it or half. I don't see a lot of the deeper stats, but I do see that they actually clicked on the link, is what I'm saying.
Okay, because I thought it was following it, and then all of a sudden I realized last month, it's like, wait a minute, none of the stuff I'm sending out is showing anything. And so then I didn't know what was happening now that the new one was live. So cool.
Yeah. And so you bet. So I would recommend, for the sake of time, I could go through every link and show you everything, but you can do that. So the point is, under the PDFs, we have the quick start guide, we have the formulations. A lot of people want the facts and the ingredients, etc. You can go right here and pull up any of these documents. And if you're an event, we normally just send an enrollment link anymore. But again, if you're an event, some people, are you meeting them for coffee? It is good to have an order form, sitting there that they can actually decide. Again, I rarely use an order form anymore because most of us, we just send the link. But again, there's not simply just one way to do anything. That's the whole point. Okay. So I know, sorry, I jumped around on you there. The only other areas I wanted to show you tonight on the app. Oh yes, Liz, I want to show you the ECard. The ECard is something that does set us up as professionals, and you set up your ECard by going to your laptop version. This is kind of a cool way when you meet somebody at a chamber event or whatever it is online, you can send them this, especially if you've qualified them to a point and they're highly interested, then you can send them your ECard, and then you have some of your favorite links in there. I know it's a lot, but again, if I was a prospect and many people that I've enrolled looking at the business, then I want my links. I want to do my research. I want to do my due diligence without bugging Barb. If Barb wants to enroll me, before I even call Barb or text her back, I'm going to Google, I'm going to search, I'm going to read, I'm going to watch. So why not give your prospects some of your favorite directions? Where there's not one way. If you're looking at my screen right now, there's not one way to put your ECard together because all of us are different. That's the point. Just put some of your favorite links in there and move forward with it. Yes, Ms. Carol.
Well, I was going to say too that you don't want people going off to Google to research you. It's much better for them to research through your card, through your links, because occasionally people will get lost and accidentally, not by desire, sign up and not be linked to you, and you don't want that to happen. So I definitely recommend using your card.
Yeah, that's a good point. So,
hey, Robert, Kara brought up that the videos she's trying to save into her app are not saving. Is that something she would need to email support?
Yeah. You might want to message me directly too. There may be something you're missing, maybe a little step, because that happened to Barb. Barb, remember it happened to you before? Barb, did you have to reload? What enabled you?
3 times I had to reload because I
Okay.
didn't hit save.
So
Just
again, for
make
those,
sure you see it, that it says save.
yeah,
like- And just, yeah,
yeah, that's a great point. So,
'cause sometimes it's sensitive.
Kara, I feel like click save 3 times. I don't know. It's just coming to me. I don't know why.
Yeah,
yeah, so
Now, and
Kara, you might
one
want to reach, Kara, you might feel free to reach
thing
out to me. I could even spend maybe a
I
few
had to
minutes.
do,
Yeah, go ahead, Carol, sorry.
one thing I had to do was I was having trouble getting my new app to update. And I kept going and going. So I texted and they said, well, it was all in the call and stuff. But anyway, then I got a thing back and it said, I saw something that said, go to your computer. So if you're not getting your app to update, go to your computer and update and add all your
Yeah.
resources there. Because
that's what I had to do.
Yeah,
do it just on the phone.
I agree, Ms. Carol. For those, did everybody get that? That's one of our closing thoughts here is that if you're having trouble getting all the resources in your app, the most straightforward way to do that is not through the cell phone, okay? It's through your laptop. Go to rapidfunnel.com, log in with your normal login credentials, and that's where you would actually move those resources from the computer where it's stored into your app as well. So, and if you're not sure how to do that, again, reach out to support or one of your leaders and we can spend a few minutes and help you. I've even logged into some of my people's, they gave me their login. I would log in. I can get it done in like 2 minutes, and it may take you an hour, okay? So we're happy to help, guys.
Well, it took Barbara 2 minutes this afternoon once she knew what to do. We were, on one of our little business connections. And so that, but it does have to be from the computer.
Yeah, and make sure that you're downloading the RapidFunnel app. There's 2 versions of it. And so when you go to your app store, make sure you're getting the right. I know Cindy Talley, there's some other versions of that. So just make sure you have the right RapidFunnel version. Again, we're not going to go into the technical side tonight, but just tonight, we really wanted to keep it practical, best practice and that kind of thing. So hopefully we're serving the group at large. Go ahead.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you. Thank you.
It's great.
Robert, do you want to stop the screen share just so it's just echoing a little bit? So
Yeah,
we could just,
sorry guys.
it's okay.
Okay, I think Andy raised her hand there.
Yeah, let's
I
just,
did. I have a question. I know that they updated the RapidFunnel. If I had it on my phone, do I need to take it off and put it back on, or will the update happen? It's already fine. I don't need to do anything to it.
well, if it looks exactly how we just did it, then it's updated,
Okay, and I couldn't
right?
look at it at the same time because I was looking on watching this on my phone, so I'll have to go into it when we're done with the call.
I
Okay.
had to log out and then log back in again, but I didn't have to delete it and reinstall it. I did have to log out and let it and come back in again.
I had to
Okay,
do the
cool.
same thing, yeah. Log out and log back in.
Log out and back in.
Oh,
Yeah.
good, Dennis, thanks.
That's a good point. Yeah, try the log out back in first and then the laptop version next. And Cindy Talley, I know, Cindy, I would definitely suggest private messaging a couple leaders here who have work. I'm happy to spend 5 minutes with you, whatever. It might take me 5 minutes, it might take you an hour to do, okay? So I'm happy to help. So reach out. I know Carol's pretty familiar with it and so is Barb. So we were on the beta group. So and Kara, same thing, Carol Thorpe. So reach out, we can help you with that.
Awesome.
Other than that, guys, I guess my thoughts in closing, Jill and the team, guys, is to play around with it. When you first use anything, it's gonna feel awkward. It's gonna feel like it's strange and you don't know what you're doing. I've been there. We've all been there. But you just keep using it and tackling it and struggling your way through it and making some mistakes and calling for help. And eventually a week from now, 2 weeks from now, when you're already sent out, 30 messages or more, 50 or more, then you'll get a handle around it. Let's be real. It's the same thing with any new thing. We are in a technological age, let's be real. And there's certain things as leaders we have to embrace to be duplicatable are how we then lead. If we sponsor somebody tomorrow who wants to run and they want to be duplicatable, and if we're not using some duplicatable tools, there's a major disconnect there. So I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
So back to you.
I'm
Ms.
glad you're just saying, because it's all truth, Robert, truth. I love it. Thank you for sharing your gifts and talents with us tonight. And thank you again for being the brainchild around this app and getting it organized for us. It's going to make a huge difference in the simplicity around, using the app. So thank you, Robert. Appreciate it so much.
You are so
And
welcome.
Robert, thank you for all your time and effort in editing things like the collagen video and doing
Yes.
the www and getting it all up on YouTube so we can use it, because some people don't want to join the group. I mean, yes, we want them in the group, but sometimes that just isn't going to happen. So thank you for all your off-hour work that you do for all of us.
You're so welcome. Thank you, Carol. Joe, can I announce what we're working on just real quick?
Yeah, please do. Yes, please.
So together with Jill and Jem and the core leadership team, let me turn this thing off, guys. Sorry about the feedback tonight. Anyway, okay, so we are putting together right in the middle of it a product sizzle resource and a business sizzle resource full of stories. We have a ton of science that we all love. That's how we built our business. Think about it. Think about all the videos you sent out. Every one of us on this line. They're wonderful because the people behind them are authentic and they're real, and the science is real. What we feel is a huge added fuel are the stories, the real stories. So we are working on roughly 10 to 12 minute a tool, which you could send to somebody like David and Jerry to introduce them to what our products do. And the predominant part of that tool are stories with some science and who we are. But and have music. It's going to be professional. We'll have music and everything, but we're going to have a product version of that and a business version of that. I don't have an exact deadline, but hopefully we'll have it up and running for you within about a week and a half or so. So that is in the works, and we do see a huge need for it, and we are getting it done. So.
And
Thank
Robert
you.
is doing it by himself. So everyone give Robert a round of applause. The only thing I'm doing is keeping him accountable to his deadlines, and which I'm going to call you right after this, Robert. Anywho.
Well, and I want to make another strong point, guys. We're not in the tool making business. Although as a field leader, I can't unknow what I know. I do have the skills to do this, although it is time consuming, and it is, to brutally transparently, it is taking me away from IPAs, although because of the huge need for this, I am just wading through it, because the other end of this is a tool we can all use and run with and build that next level of momentum with. That's the reason, because we never, ever, ever want to be into the tool making, and that's our business. That's not what we're saying. All we're saying is there's a couple missing key pieces in our toolbox, and that's what we're getting done. So,
well, and corporate has given Robert the green light to do this tool, just because they have so many other hats that they're wearing right now too. So Robert, thank you for that. Jim.
It's even more than the green light. They are so grateful.
Yes.
That he is doing this. And I don't know if you want to take 2 more minutes and show one of your favorite ones and why these are so effective, why they're called sizzle. It's because they're all the emotional part of all of our stories. And emotion is what grabs the heart of the individual watching. Imagine 5 or 6 of those in a row with different cases. I don't know if you have one that's easy for you to
well, and the company has been so good to provide the steak. I mean, all the science and Kirsty stuff, it's meat, and it's so good. And it's what's missing in a lot of companies because they don't have any meat. But having the sizzle of that steak on the grill, Or, you know, when you're in a restaurant and they bring fajitas out to the next table and they're sizzling and they squeeze those limes on them. And then you think, oh golly, I should have gotten some fajitas. And that's what these videos are gonna, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
And
so excited.
when I said green light, I just want you guys to know that Zallevo corporate has approved Robert to make this tool. Like, I just don't, like Robert said, we're not in the tool making business. So yes, so Robert, thank you for doing that. And you know, and we all got permission and everything. So it's
Yeah, you're
great.
so welcome. And next Monday, with your permission, we'll play some snippets, because by then, literally, Jim, we're going to have like there's going to be a minimum of like 12 different stories weaved in, jam-packed into this 10-minute beautiful piece. So it's going to be powerful. So
It's turning out so great. I love every second of it. That is
I'm
great.
excited.
So everybody give Robert another round of applause. Thank you for doing that for us. And I love that he says all the time, he's like, mine and Jill's YouTube channel. Really, I mean, thank you, Robert, for including me, but he does all the work. So thank you for that. So great. Okay, so Robert, if you want to stop the recording, you can right now. I just want to bring up, Robert, who's the Wellness Wednesday interview this week?